Hi, it's Laura in Southern Arizona. This is the Yarn Closet. We're 2 days into the school year. We're on a 10-month schedule. I am back library substitute volunteering, basically full-time. My daughter's in 5th grade. It's going pretty well. My son graduated last year and deferred for this year, so he's doing a lot of housework, and it's been great. We did adopt Mocha, the Havanese poodle, and she is a happy, happy dog. And that is a very nice thing to have because Mitzi is a Morkie, a Maltese Yorkie, and she is wound tight. She experienced actual abuse in her history. And so, you know, she's just a different thing. Mocha was kenneled, they think about 18 hours a day. So that wasn't happy for her. She'll never need to be kenneled again. And she'll be with people almost her entire life. Because somebody's almost always home. So they're not alone very often. And I'm okay with the length of the hair that it's getting to, and I'm just gonna not worry about it. I'm probably gonna let it grow. It takes one thing off my plate that I don't have to worry about. And I'm happy to be back around people and having conversations and having people ask questions about me and show an interest in me because I'm a real life human being. I'm a grown-up. It's not just about my husband and children. So that's lovely. I also recently went on the HRT for women who've had hysterectomies. That means estradiol only, estrogen only. And because I was basically postmenopausal, I didn't think there was going to be a lot except for heart health, bone health, muscle tone, muscle health, because your heart is a muscle. I was told there might be some skin changes. We've also had a monsoon all of a sudden for the first time in a few years. 2 years, I think. And so I don't know if that's why my skin is feeling so good, because we've got some humidity. You know, we've got some 35, 40% humidity going on. Or if it's the estradiol. I am feeling oddly more myself. I did one of the online menopause specialists because a friend of mine had done it and recommended it, and it's telehealth appointments, and still they can call in for blood work and do all of that. Depending on your insurance, it can be a different beast, but for me it was okay. I'm going to try to transition over to my regular doctor. She's a young woman and did not understand that I was still a good candidate for this. That now the first line of defense wouldn't have been the antidepressants, it would have been the estradiol. There's been no real weight loss. It's been really weird because I've ramped up my exercise this summer. And my eating is quite decent. I would say that the one thing I kind of fall a little bit flat on is maybe not always getting quite enough fiber. But my weight is it's just up so much. I bought some bigger pants this year because it's that middle thickness. And I was talking to the lady at work, and she's lost some weight, and I was telling her, well, no, I actually weigh about 15 pounds more than you do. And she's like, you do not. And I'm like, well, yeah, I'm 2 inches taller than you, so I should weigh like 10 pounds more. But I said, it's ridiculous. I would like to be your weight. And so I'm hoping being on these things after a while will start to affect my weight and how everything's coming together. Because that would make me feel better in the end. that is one of the hardest things for me to cope with in aging, is the redistribution of weight. And the thing is, I'm pretty muscly, but the fact is I can't fight the fact that because of the lack of hormones, I've lost so much muscle tone. And I don't have the resources to do the kind of weight workouts I would like to stave off some of this menopause issue, because I am legally blind and I can't just drive wherever I want to get to whatever I want to. So within the parameters of my life, this is working just fine. I'm thrilled to be back around some adults who actually asked some questions about me. My son had started to see his bio dad again last year in the fall. We'd hoped that it would be in a better place right now than it is. But here's the thing. That was my hope and my husband's hope on this situation. But I don't think my son or his bio dad have a problem with where they're at. I don't know that they will ever have the kind of relationship that we expected them to have or want, but that's okay. And we need to take that out of the equation and release ourselves from that. I will say that my biggest thing that I would say to anyone perimenopausal age, try the HRT. You can go off of it if it's not working, but try it. Try it. Because honestly, I feel a little bit more myself. It's hard to explain, but it's helping my muscle health, which is my heart health. It's helping my bone density. I think that my skin is a little bit better. And I just oddly feel more myself. It's kind of strange. And that was one of my biggest complaints about perimenopause and menopause, postmenopause, is that I just didn't feel myself. You lose these hormones that are like the driving force behind how we function as women and the cycle that we live through every month as women. And I couldn't get any doctor to really pay any attention to me in regards to this in the last 8 years. And that's ridiculous. And that's not even the fact that I was trying to get doctors to deal with me before then. It became, once I had my hysterectomy, you would think there would be more of a conversation. There should be. HRT should be offered to everyone going through hysterectomy. I could tell within 6 months of that hysterectomy that my hormones tanked. They just dropped off and tanked. My symptoms exacerbated. It was ridiculous. And it was so frustrating. And I'm really glad that I have a friend who just kept saying it to me, which is why I try not to be pushy, but I keep saying it to the younger women I know. I'm really excited about this. I did one of those online programs. I went through and I compared all of them, and found one that worked for me. It's not a scam. She didn't do what I wanted done. Like, I went in thinking this is what I want based on my research. And she, as the doctor, said, no, actually, you have this thing and this thing pre-existing that take this off the table because that wouldn't be good for you. That's a contraindication for this. And so it's not a scam. You can't just go and say, I want these drugs, and they'll give them to you. I'm on much less than I expected to be on, and in a form that I wasn't expecting to be on it, but is apparently safer because of some of my other conditions, migraines, etc. but I'm still happy I'm doing it. I still feel something is going on, something's improved. So that's my recommendation. I don't know where my mojo juju for the yarn arts went. Not a clue. I'm donating this to a school program for STEM. And then I've got this. I'm going to maybe start a winter hat in this. I think it'll be camo-esque colors. I mean, it's a bit drab of a greenish, brownish tone, but I still think it'll be decent enough with me, and it's something basic enough that it'll work. And so I'm going to take it to work. Got through the first 2 days. The new dog was just fine at home with the guys. They're both in diapers during the day. And people are like, why do you do that? Because even with the diapers, this dog that's very well trained, if we don't take her out right when she needs to, she'll go. She doesn't tell you going to the door and barking. Mitzi doesn't go to the door and bark. The dogs that we have go outside. They just don't indicate when they need to go outside. So if you don't take them out frequently enough, and here's the deal, it doesn't kill a dog to wear a diaper, especially when it's not getting it wet. It doesn't add to skin irritation. They're not that tight. Honestly, it's just the fact that I know that if it happens while I'm gone, they're not going to clean the carpet as well as I would. And I know as a legally blind person, I'm probably not cleaning the carpet as well as I once did. And I'm just over that part of it. I'm over the fact that we already have a lot of cat issue from the previous homeowner here that's never been addressed to my liking. And so I'm just doing what I can do to make my life easier. Take that option. Take that option. I feel like my hair is getting long enough that it's dragging down my forehead, and I don't like that. But on the other hand, not getting a haircut and knowing that it still looks tidy enough is also making my life easier. So hold on to the things that you love. Know that it's the people and the experiences that really matter. And do the best you can, one day at a time. Look with your heart first, not your eyes, and we'll be back to chat next week. Thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing and liking and commenting. I hope you enjoy what I post of the dogs and the cats. It's been a little light since we got the new dog because that hasn't, like, the cats have been hiding and they're finally coming out. They're finally running around with the dog. So hopefully things will start up again. But I appreciate you being here.